So we are now in the section B. So in that one, we need to connect the microcontroller with the wireless LAN unit, or you might have it on the already connected on this test board, or if you're working with the with the wires on the breadboard, so you need to connect your wireless LAN unit. And then we need the potentiometer. The potentiometer will be needed later. At the moment, only the wireless LAN unit needs to be connected to the microcontroller. And then opening the application from Mr. Petri Pakkanen, the former lab engineer. So that link goes to the repository here. And in that repository in here, you could just import it into the compiler. And in the compiler, then open the embed app JSON. So in the compiler, it will look like something like I'll take one of I have a number of copies of a similar program here. So different phases of this exercise, and almost like the original is that one. I suppose this is you will get it at the moment. And then you will see there is the operating system, there is the main program, there is an embed app JSON. And in the embed app JSON, you give settings for your application. So if you write here, this is a JSON formatted text file. There is a configuration, and inside the configuration, there is one configuration here, another configuration here, another configuration in here. So inside this JSON, this is a config, which includes a JSON. Then there is the name Wi-Fi SSID, which includes a JSON. And in the JSON, there is a help and the value. And the value is that which matters here. So you write the SSID of your Wi-Fi network here. You write the password of your Wi-Fi network in here. It needs to be quotes like this, that this is a string. And inside this string, there is another quote. And then you write your password in here. And those will be visible on the code. So like this, that we are making a connection to the Wi-Fi. So there is the Wi-Fi SSID, Wi-Fi password. And the compiler is reading the information, replacing this string with the information from here. So Wi-Fi password, Wi-Fi SSID, and the value from here. For some reason, it is here not with the capital letters, but in here it is with the capital letters. So this is telling to the compiler that it's going to look for the information from the embed app JSON. So, okay, in the application, then it's connecting to the Wi-Fi and connection successful, and it's printing IP via the DHCP. And then you have a Wi-Fi connection done. I can show to you that it should be working. I'm resetting by pulling the power off and power on again. It says disconnecting. And then connecting Wi-Fi, and it got the IP address. So we are that far in the code at the moment. And then after that, connecting IoT research IoTMc41 and for that, in the embed app JSON, we are defining the MQTT broker ID. So you need to write here as a broker ID exactly this IoT Research HAMK thing, if you connect there, or is it the mosquito.org or test.mosquito.org? Anyway, there is a mosquito broker as well if you would like to connect with the mosquito broker. And then MQTT broker IP, you don't need to fill in because it's not used in the code at the moment. So MQTT broker host name. So in here, this is the host name. So the IoT Research HAMK is the host name. The MQTT ID, that's your ID there. So you need to put here a unique number, client ID. So if you use that like a number 2 with the MQTT box, you just please use the number 3 here on the microcontroller. So in the host name, the IoT Research HAMK3. Broker port, that's typically the 1883. Topic. You can put the topic here, or we can also write the topic in the code, depends. But as a topic, we will be using then, you need to write there something like this. That we will see then that what your microcontroller is publishing, we will see it on the window in here on the MQTT box. And then these are the settings that the ESP55 will work correctly. So in the main program, all this is visible like this. The main program is not that long. So I think it's even easier to explain if I open it from the other side, from here. The main. And I mean, it's not a very long program. That's all. I mean, it's like 1 page. So what we did there is that we made a connection to the Wi-Fi. That's done. And then in here, MQTT broker host name, you see there MQTT broker IP is inside the comment in here. So we are using not the IP, but the host name. So MQTT broker host name comes from that embed app JSON. And then for that broker, we will set a port, the port number, which comes also from the embed app JSON. So that was that we are making connection to that broker host name at the MQTT broker. And then that's our connection. And on that connection, we use the set port. And we set there the port name. And then we establish an object data, which is an MQTT packet connect data. And then for that data, we set that the version number is 3. So someone has written the MQTT class library into the operating system. And then in there, we need to set that this is the version 3. The ID comes from the MQTT ID, which you wrote there in the app.json. The client ID is taken from that ID. This is like a pointer, right? And then we take it in here. And then character buffer. So we are writing there just that the string print into the buffer, this string. This seems to be on the operating system. It knows the version and the minor version of the operating system. So there comes this text then. That was in the buffer. And then for the MQTT, we establish a message, which is on the namespace MQTT, and it is the message. And for that message, we'll set the quality of service 0, message retained false, duplication or something false. Payload is that buffer, and the payload length is the buffer length. We open the socket, connect to the MQTT broker, and client connect data. That was the initialization of the broker. And then we go to an endless loop, and we start publishing there the topic and the message. So you see the client publish, that's the topic, and this is the payload. And the payload is like built in here. And the topic is this time taken from the embed app.json. And then it's defined that it will publish every 30 seconds. And then you just compile this one with the correct information on the embed app.json. So you don't need to do anything else than, let's say, right here, hello from Timo's, what? Sorry, I'm on the web page, not on the compiler. So you go to the compiler on the same thing, on the compiler here. I have changed it. I'm publishing a sensor value in here. It's not exactly the same anymore. So you publish there something like hello from my microcontroller board. So in here, hello from my microcontroller, whoever's microcontroller that is. Change this one somehow that we will see then that who is publishing. Because if you keep this topic as a given value, then better make a difference in here. But also in the topic, you can make something that someone will recognize that it is really you. So I will be like waiting here that you will be publishing something that I will see it in here. I'm subscribing to ICT RB and anything after that. And you need to edit the code on the microcontroller, compile it, download to the microcontroller, and then just start publishing something. I'll do it in a code here, not exactly the original, but one of the examples that I have a little bit modified. So this is mine publishing to the IoT research. And then on the main here, I have already like edited this one that it is publishing a sensor value. So, but that's like in the beginning of your code. So publishing hello from my MC microcontroller board, embed operating system, that one and that one. So I'm compiling this one. And I'm there. My microcontroller is connected in here on the serial board. And I'm moving this one over there. Move there. And this is my serial board here. Connecting Wi-Fi. Success. Publishing. I need to change it a little bit because the B is missing here. So I forget that one. So I need to go to embed app JSON and change the topic. Because wait a second, I'm publishing for the first time in here. So embed config app MQTT topic and message. So here I'm taking the topic from the app JSON. So I need to go and change in the app JSON the topic. And in here, I need to add the B like this. And then compile again everything. It is automatically saving everything before it starts compiling. So finally, I will get the file in here, moving it to the microcontroller and looking at what happens here. Connecting Wi-Fi. and hello from TK2 MC board embed OS 6.2. That was mine. And then there was already some of the students publishing with the operating system version 6.7. Well done. So this fellow has updated the operating system version. And then after that one, my program starts publishing numbers, sensor values. And then those are not yet visible in here.